Alrighty guys, it's early morning here at the off-grid tiny house. I'm waiting because the wind turbine lady finally called and she's coming to pick that stuff up today. So while I'm waiting for her, I'm going to put this metal sheet down in my lithium iron phosphate battery box or sand box. So I got a heavy gauge sheet of metal. I got my foundation of sand, which is at least 1 inch, inch and a half, almost 2 inches of sand. That's all been dried and cooked. And so now I can put the metal down. Now I have to position the heater mats, and I have to put the extensions on the heater mats. And what I'll do is I'll tape the extensions on. When you buy these heater mats, they come with these extensions. It's pretty simple. You just plug in. But what I'm going to do is tape around this connection so it doesn't come undone while in the box for some unknown reason. So I'll just grab some electrical tape here and we'll tape up. I got 2 of these that are going in, so should do us for what we're doing. And the electric heater mats are USB powered, 5 volts. They're powered by the battery themselves. They run off the battery. Keeps the battery nice and toasty. And I'm just going to position them down on the sheet. And I'm basically going to take the end of the USB and just chuck it in behind this mess of wires back here for now. And I'm just going to pull out any of the extra line, obviously, to about that amount. That looks good. So we'll grab the other extender and the other mat, hook him up, and that should do it. So when the heater mat does come on, or both of them come on, it'll heat up the metal as well, which means more surface area for the batteries, which is always good. Keep everything nice and toasty. The sand will act as an insulation and as a fire protectant of the lithium iron phosphate batteries in case they ever fail internally, which is pretty awesome. So that was all High-Tech Guy 18's Stu's recommendations, because you never know what kind of crap quality you get coming out of China nowadays. I'll tell you what. Okay, I think that's good enough for that boy too. So once the batteries are on top of the mats though, it'll hold them in place basically. So I have a little bit of rearranging to do in here, guys, because I got to figure out the layout of the batteries. So I think I want to go with I'll go old, new, I think is how I want to do it, or just do the 2 old ones on the ends and the 2 actually, I may have to do new, old, just to make the connections in between the batteries a more even distance. We'll see. We shall see. So I'll put one of the new ones in first. Now these are quite smaller than the bigger guys' connections. So yeah, maybe I'll do the big guys on the ends in the middle, and these little babies on the internally in the center. I think that's the way to go. So that's what I will do. unfortunately, it has to be done that way. So, put the new guy down. I'll take one of the old guys. Okay. And I will place him carefully down inside of here. And then I'll take one of the new guys, put him in. And you can see quite the difference there. Quite the difference. But I'll have to do what I gotta do. I'll try to keep them tight together like this, as opposed to having a space in between, just so the connections are halfway decent. I'm guessing that's the only way to do it. Alright, so now obviously we're gonna have issues here because these connections are going to be longer than these, which is kind of sucky, if you ask me. But it is what it is, I guess. Really. I can always put a gap in between to make it more of an even connection between all of them, but kind of really don't want to do that. Ear mat got messed up a little bit, so I'll go like this. Yeah, I'll just keep them together like this. It is what it is. Hopefully everything works out. And the last big boy here, we'll put him in on the end. I guess I can shimmy the whole thing down so it's somewhat even. This guy's kind of leaning in this way a bit, but shouldn't really matter for lithium. As long as I got a good sand all the way around this, I think I'll be good. And if I put two sandbags, one here across, I think that will cover it. So basically now, guys, once I wire everything back up, I then can fill in these surround with sand and go from there. Now, I wish I could... There we go. That's a lot better. I did just press down on the sand to kind of tamp it down to get a better connection going on here. So what I'll leave all these handles here, and what I'll do is I'm going to tape these handles together so I don't lose them at any point, just with some electrical tape, because if I ever have to pull any of these cells out of here, I can just grab the handles, pull up, and then the sand will obviously fall down and do its thing. So we'll just tape these up so they're not missing in action if I ever have to pull the cells. But more than likely I'll never have to touch these cells again for a good 15 years, because that's what they're good for if you baby them. And even after the 15 years, I think they only go down to 70% capacity. So the capacity or the range only decreases by a little bit as they age. So as opposed to 100% capacity, you'll be down to 70% over after the 15 years. And then by then, batteries will be lithium iron phosphate should be super cheap. somewhat. Working with gloves, fun. Okay, keep those guys kind of out of the way. Boom, boom, there we go. All right, so now some of these connections are probably not going to work anymore whatsoever. So yeah, I'll have to make all new wires for each individual one, guys. So that's going to take time, and I guess I'll have to start on that off camera to do that. But in the meantime, let's take you over, give you guys a nice view. So we have, zoom out, we have the batteries all flushed together. Got them, they're under the metal, under the heater mats. That'll spread the heat throughout. The sand's going to help insulate, and pretty good stuff. Yep. So not too shabby. And what I'll probably do is I'll tape the USBs together here, the two cords, and that way they're together as well. So good to go.